Remember when Gawker put out that sex tape of Hulk Hogan? You know, the one where he was calling black people the N-word and whatnot. Well, check this news out from TMZ. Here's what they just said about the court case Hulk Hogan had against Gawker. TMZ writes, and I quote, "Talk about a leg drop. Hulk Hogan just won big in his war with Gawker, with the jury awarding the WWE legend a $115 million judgment against the company for publishing part of his sex tape online. Hogan had only sued for $100 million, but the jury decided it wasn't enough and bumped it up to $115 million. The breakdown: $55 million for economic injuries and $60 million for emotional distress. He could get even more with punitive damages. Hogan had argued that he had no idea he was being recorded when he had sex with his friend's wife at their home in Florida back in 2007. Gawker published 1 minute and 50 seconds of the video without Hulk's permission. Hogan claimed it was the ultimate invasion of his privacy. Story developing." Wow. So he was screwing his friend's wife and talking racist nonsense, basically. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to take it back in time a little bit, because what I did was I went and looked up the Gawker news story, because even though TMZ conveniently left out the racist part, I didn't forget the N-word rant. As soon as I saw this story, I said, wait a second, isn't that the tape where he was calling people the N-word? I mean, who just busts a nut and says, that was good, brother. Let's talk about these N-words. I mean, who the hell thinks that way? Hulk Hogan, of course. So let me go ahead and read to you what Gawker posted on their website back in 2015. This was July 24th, 2015, posted by J.K. Trotter. Now, the name of the story, rather the article, was "Hulk Hogan refers to effing N-words in leaked transcript. World Wrestling Star Incorporated has cut ties with the professional wrestler Hulk Hogan, reportedly due to sealed transcripts quoted by the National Enquirer and Radar on Friday morning, in which Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, refers to black people as, quote, effing N-words, and admits that, quote, I am a racist to a point. The Enquirer and Radar have published excerpts of transcripts submitted to a Florida court overseeing Hulk Hogan's $100 million lawsuit against Gawker Media, and the transcripts reportedly transcribed from a sex tape depicting Hogan having sex with the wife of a Tampa area radio shock jock, Bubba the Love Sponge Clem. The wrestler, I remember that name. I don't think I ever listened to the show. Bubba the Love Sponge Clem. Ugh, where did they come up with these names? Anyways, Hulk Hogan's $100 million lawsuit against Gawker Media, and the transcripts reportedly transcribed from a sex tape depicting Hogan having sex with the wife of a Tampa area radio shock jock, Bubba the Love Sponge Clem. The wrestler reportedly discussed his daughter, Brooke Bollea's business and personal relationships with a, quote, black billionaire who apparently offered to fund his daughter's burgeoning music career, and the billionaire's son. Now, they included some excerpts. Now, this is what Hulk Hogan said on the tape. Quote, I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son, Hulk raved, the sources add. Quote, I mean, I don't have double standards. I mean, I am a racist to a point. Effing N-words. But then, when it comes to nice people and shit and whatever, according to sources, he said, quote, I mean, I'd rather, if she was going to fuck some N-word, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot tall N-word worth $100 million, like a basketball player. He also said, quote, I guess we're all a little racist, effing N-words. It is not precisely clear how the Enquirer or Radar obtained the transcripts, which are currently under seal in Pinellas County, Florida. According to the tabloid, quote, an extensive radio probe uncovered 5 independent sources who provided the dramatic contents of the tape to this publication. Now, for the record, I'm going to skip ahead in this article. If you wanted to read the whole thing for yourself, I posted a link on my blog, so it's up there. I just wanted to skip ahead so we can get to the good parts. Now, let's see. In a statement to People, Hulk Hogan Hogan apologized for referring to black people as, quote, effing N-words, among other utterances revealed in the transcripts. 8 years ago, I used offensive language during a conversation. It was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive language. There is no excuse for it, and I apologize for having done it. This is not who I am. Pause the story right there. No, it is who you are, Hogan. You just got caught being who you are. Just own up to it. Just be that guy. You're like Trump. You need to just be yourself. Anyway, he goes on to say, I believe very strongly that every person in the world is important and should not be treated differently based on race, gender orientation, religious beliefs, or otherwise. I am disappointed with myself that I use language that is offensive and inconsistent with my own beliefs. Pause the story right there. Hogan, it's very consistent with who you are. 8 foot tall N-words worth $1 billion. You know, maybe you can deal with an 8 foot tall N-word who's a famous basketball player making millions or billions of dollars sleeping with your daughter. But man, regular old N-words, just not good enough. Anyways, oh, this bastard. If you wanted to read the whole story for yourself, you know, once again, the link is on the blog. But I'm going to skip ahead to this last part of the story. It says, Hogan's apology comes less than a day after WWE began erasing references to the wrestler from its website, per wrestling news source as highlighted by the Daily Beast's Marlo Stern. On WWE.com, Hogan is no longer listed on the WWE Hall of Fame page, and all of his merchandise has also been removed from WWEshop.com. The only thing currently remaining that mentions Hogan involves WWE's upcoming Australian tour, which Hogan was scheduled to take part in as general manager. However, when any attempt to access this page is made, a message appears stating, quote, you are not authorized to access this page. The Daily Beast speculated that the removal is tied to a 3-year-old audio clip from a radio show where Hogan discussed being referred to and referring to others as ninjas, Niggas, and N-words, Niggers. Per the gossip website Media Takeout, however, the eraser is likely tied to the court transcripts referenced by the Inquirer. Yeah, and then it went on a little bit longer, you know, and they actually mentioned the woman's name. Her name is Heather Clem. Should be Heather Cum. She's out here chasing Hulk Hogan's blonde nuts. Well, you know, it's none of my business. But listen, folks, the thing I love about the whole Hulk Hogan racist tape and the whole Donald Sterling being outed for being a racist thing is even when they're outed, they still continue to pretend that we don't know that they're racist. It doesn't matter if you catch them on tape, red-handed. It doesn't really matter. You can catch them on video saying it. They'll deny it. They will deflect from the topic, you know, but they'll never admit it no matter what. It's really shameful. And we need to start holding these people accountable for what they're doing. And in the near future, I believe they will be held accountable finally. Anyways, Hulk Hogan can eat a 24-inch python dick with a blonde mustache hanging from it, with a Confederate flag on his scaly head. You may like Hulk Hogan. I don't give a shit about Hulk Hogan. Remember, Hulk Hogan says 8 foot tall N-words who play in the NBA are good enough for his daughter. And if you're just a regular old black guy, then you know, you're beneath him. I mean, you know, you're still an N-word even if you're 8 foot tall and you play in the NBA, but at least you have some money and you are famous and at least you're 8 feet tall. So, you know, you're at least one of the higher grade N-words. You're still an N-word, but at least you're one of the best N-words. So I can't stand this bastard. That's all I could think about in this lawsuit, and I feel like he was just being awarded for being a racist. You ever notice when these racists get outed, they end up getting money, big money, like Donald Sterling? Like, oh, well, you know, here's $1 billion, Mr. Sterling. You were pretty embarrassed, weren't you, huh? At first, they act like, you know, well, we're going to fire this white man for being a racist, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, they pop up with like hundreds of millions of dollars for being a racist. Isn't that amazing? Like, the fastest and easiest way to retire as a racist white male celebrity is to just get caught saying the N-word. They fire you and then they just give you hundreds of millions or even $1 billion afterwards. It's an amazing concept. It's just like when you're a cop or something like that, you just shoot a black kid and then the GoFundMe starts and the next thing you know, you got $100,000 at least. I mean, it's really amazing that degrading or murdering a black man can make you very wealthy, or if not a millionaire, or even a multi-millionaire, or even a billionaire in some more rare cases. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Are you surprised that he got 100 million plus $115 million and could possibly get more? Are you surprised at all? Meat Magazine on YouTube, meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine.